Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video. So in this video, I'll be talking about my vaccination experience. Though before proceeding any further, I do want to clarify that the reason why this video isn't a pure vaccination vlog where it only features clips of me within the PPV or the Pusat Pemberian vaccine. The reason is because the process was very quick that I didn't have time to record any actual proper clips for this vaccination vlog. So that is why I am here right now talking while driving about my vaccination experience, while I include some clips that I managed to take there which weren't sufficient to just be a sole video on its own. Okay, so a few days before my vaccination appointment, I was given the appointment date around 2 or 3 days prior, and the info I had was that the vaccination place was at Setia Eco Templar, which is quite some distance away. It is somewhere near Rawang, and my appointment time was 10:30 a.m. So because of that, I had to go earlier because I wanted to avoid any potential crowds or queues which would cause some delay in getting vaccinated. So I left about an hour earlier, around 9:30 a.m. and I arrived at 10 a.m. and to my surprise, the PPV was quite spacious, it was quite big, and there weren't that many people at all. As a matter of fact, I think that the number of volunteers present at the vaccination center were more than the people that came to get vaccinated, well, at that hour at least. So I was relieved to see that there weren't that many people, and the queue was there was no queue at all. Basically, people were moving, and yeah, I didn't have to wait that long. So upon my arrival at the vaccination center, I cannot say the word. I was escorted, well, not escorted, but I was guided by the volunteers at the entrance to go through several checkpoints at the center. Like, basically the reason why I was unable to record many clips was, one of the reasons was that I had to scan using the My Sejahtera app many times. Because of that, with the amount of checkpoints I have to go through, I really couldn't scan anything because my phone was being used to scan all the barcodes. As I was saying, throughout the multiple checkpoints, after about 1 or 2 checkpoints, I received a form where I had to fill in some details. It was a consent form, if I'm not mistaken, so I had to fill in some personal details like IC number, how old I am, like do I have any allergies whatsoever. And then after I filled in the details of that form, I went to another counter where they asked me some questions like what was my profession, what my age was, what my phone number was. And basically that first checkpoint where they asked you some questions was to confirm your identity, that it is you that is going to take the vaccine and not someone else that is using your identity instead. So that was the first checkpoint where they asked questions. So after that checkpoint, you went ahead to go through another checkpoint which was quite some distance away. Well, not too far, but I just had to walk a bit to inside the giant hall. But before that, I just want to point out that the volunteers were very helpful. Like, while I didn't need any help from the volunteers at all, I could see them assisting like the elderly who probably didn't have an easy time reading the paper, like they needed assistance like writing things down or things like that. They were really helpful and kind, I could see that. So props to them, thank you for volunteering and being passionate and kind about it, volunteers out there. So moving on to the second or third checkpoint, which was inside the main hall. That checkpoint was the checkpoint where you could ask the medical officer some questions regarding the vaccine, or any question as a matter of fact. You could just ask whatever you want, and they will answer any question you have regarding the vaccine or your health conditions whatsoever. Basically, they are there to inform you about the vaccine and any effects whatsoever. So yeah, do not worry, you are able to ask questions. There are many counters, so you don't have to worry about holding up other people. And just take your time and relax and ask as many questions as you can, because they are there to answer your questions and comfort you by giving you answers. Then after that checkpoint, you finally get to the waiting area, which which is right before you get vaccinated. And well, that waiting area is just directly in front of the medical officer counter just now. So yeah, it's just one after another really. So you just sit there for a minute or so while waiting. Well, it depends on the amount of people at the PPV, of course. But in my case, I had to wait like just a minute or two. After about a minute of waiting, I was called into the vaccination cubicle. It was just a pretty small area, of course. They wanted to maximize the vaccination cubicles so that more people can get vaccinated at once at a time. So there the doctor allowed me to record a video of her injecting the Sinovac vaccine into my arm. And yeah, it was painless really. So for those of you who are worried about vaccines, I mean not vaccines, that's a whole different story. Yeah, for those of you who are afraid of needles, do not worry. I assure you, the process is fast. It's just a slight prick, that's all. After getting the vaccine shot, you will be asked to go to a 15-minute waiting area where they will observe you for any potential sudden side effects which may occur just in case. So thankfully, I did not face any immediate side effects of the Sinovac vaccine shot, and alhamdulillah, everything was fine. So I went to the last counter where they just filled in the final details of the form I had since the beginning, and they stapled to that paper like a small vaccination card which had the details of my next appointment for the Sinovac vaccine, which was approximately, well not approximately, it's exactly 3 weeks after my first dose. But that's for the Sinovac vaccine. For the other types of vaccines, the waiting period is different between the first and second dose. And that's pretty much it really. It was a really fast process. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't able to record much, but okay. So after about 20 minutes of the overall process, 23 minutes as a matter of fact, I am done with getting the first dose of Sinovac, the vaccine. So I'll be back here in 3 weeks, the same time, to get my second dose of Sinovac as well. So yeah, it was a super speedy process, and I'm glad I got a morning slot because there weren't that many people. And I'm out of breath because double mask. I'm not used to talking a lot with double mask on, but here we are. So yeah, I guess that's all really. I hope I explained the rest, and yeah. I completely forgot to mention that I experienced a few side effects after taking the vaccine. Fortunately, I only experienced a few of them, and only for the same day that I received the vaccine. So the first one was getting a sore arm, the arm that I got injected, and secondly was a headache. But the sore arm was only for a few hours after getting the vaccine shot, as most usual vaccine shots would have that side effect. And secondly, the headache I had was a few hours or an hour or so after I got the vaccine shot. But thankfully, as I mentioned just now, I only faced these side effects for one day only, and the next day I was fine, no fever, thankfully. So yeah, that's what I experienced for side effects. So here's the thing, my appointment time was actually at 10:30 a.m. I arrived at 10 a.m. The whole process did not even take 30 minutes, and I left the building at 10:27 a.m. So I finished before my actual appointment time. So the process is really quick, as I mentioned multiple times, because I couldn't record enough clips for a proper vaccination vlog, but you get the idea of how things are, and I try my best to show whatever I could record there anyway. So yeah, I guess that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed me talking about my experience. I may or may not record a video vlog for my second vaccination dose, but we'll see how it goes, of course. So yeah, I guess that's all for this video. Leave a like if you like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.